Hello, beautiful community. This is my second video, my second chapter about the relational paradox that we have been exploring together. This is the topic that comes up right now at these modern times. And this is deeply personal because I know so many people are challenged by this paradox. And at the same time, it is universal because we can see it in our world, in the big world, what is going on right now. Everything is so paradoxical, right? And there is so much polarization, right? And many of us, no matter how advanced we are, we're being caught up in this polarization. What is right and wrong, good and bad, good guys and bad guys, this struggle between the polarities. And as we live our life, of course, we have very strong stance for what we believe and why we against this and why we stand for this. And it's totally makes sense. And it's beautiful that you have strong values and you're aware what you stand for. I have those values too. At the same time, on the energetic level, we need to learn and master how we navigate the paradox itself. It has so many manifestations, so many forms. On the personal level, on the universal level, in macrocosm and microcosm, but this is about our consciousness. This is our capacity for template recognition, and this is our capacity to alchemize the paradox and create unity and harmony. So we can play with both polarities and they can be whole, right? The polarities can become whole. Everything has both polarities within its own nature, right? This is the law of polarity. Maybe you've heard about universal laws. There is a law of polarity. So if something has left, it also has right. If something has, top, it also has down. So when we observe this polarization in the world, we're so charged with energy, right? Against and for something. Yet we don't understand the energetics and would be the most efficient and the most conscious way to navigate what's going on. Because it affects us all and we can't escape it. And it is a relational challenge. It is energetic relational challenge. It's not so much about what we call emotional intelligence, though it is emotional intelligence is part of it. And we will explore it in this beautiful program or challenge that I am inviting you to join, that I'm working on. Yet we have to understand that this challenge is relational. This is the relational paradox, how we alchemize two polarities and how two polarities can dance as one, right? We're coming back to the existential reality in a way, right? The masculine and feminine, the feminine and masculine dancing together, the polarities, right? And right now, this intensification of these polarities of everything in the world creates lots of suffering and creates lots of conflict and creates lots of pain and creates violence as well. So, as conscious beings, we're invited to work on this paradox within ourselves first and with our relationships, like how do you relate to everything? How do you relate to other people? How do you relate to yourself? How do you relate to the world? How do you relate to the challenge of paradox itself? So the first topic that we'll be exploring on this journey that I'm inviting you to join, and this is kind of co-play, co-creation, because I'd love to get to know you, and I'd love to get to know your unique way of navigation, because it's not about cookie cutter. It's not about one formula for everyone, but there is a certain template, like as a universal template, right? Like as polarities, like the law of polarity is a universal template. Right? The universal laws are templates, right? How do we recognize these templates, and how do we apply these templates to a personal experience? That is the art, right? My partner is an abstract artist. So we can talk abstractions. And then we have to talk abstractions and apply them to ourselves. And that's been our beautiful journey of integrating this paradox between universal and personal, between abstract and specific. So the first topic is about the paradox, the conflict between giving and receiving. Giving and receiving. This is something that we talk a lot about, especially in the coaching industry, in the healing industry, in the industry of personal development. How much should I give and how much should I receive? Is giving more important than receiving, or is it receiving that we all need to learn because nobody was teaching us receiving, right? And we constantly like dance between these two, not sure how to fully embody that, and not sure how to alchemize it so we flow with it, so we stop questioning, right? Like, are we giving and receiving? Like, what is this correct ratio between my giving and my receiving in my relationships with this person, with that person, with myself, with the world? Do I have enough self-care? Do I have enough self dedication to honor my truth and not to self-betray? Because that was the topic of previous generation: self-betrayal, self-abandonment, right? Not really acknowledging that it's also important to cultivate this loving relationship with the self. And there was lots of self-sacrifice in the past generations, especially when we talk about women, like the feminine service. There was a lot of self-sacrifice that caused whole movements of feminism, the rebellious force. We're not going to do this anymore. They can't tell us what to do. We're going to do it all by ourselves. We're going to burn our bras, be free. Then I was like, okay, still not quite nice. Now we're doing it all by ourselves. It's not fulfilling either. So that realization brought us to the place of now where women's like, no, we need to build harmonious relationship with our inner feminine and inner masculine, and find that sacred union within, and then we can have this beautiful harmonious relationship with masculine as well when we honor each other. Right? It's like, oh, okay. Maybe that will work. Now it's still work in progress, right? And it is so much about this paradox between giving and receiving. And as we go deeper, we can see how we often given the opposite advice. You go this way, some personal development school. Maybe it's a little bit in the old school. Maybe it's like new kind of reverse school in terms of like, yeah, giving is beautiful. It's beautiful when you give from the heart, right? When you give and you desire to give, it's amazing experience within your body. It's like, oh wow, this feels so good, especially it's well received. No, you give something, somebody is like, wow, I can't believe you're giving this to me. This is exactly what I dreamed about. Like, my dream comes true. Thank you. You know, like, how does it feel in your body? It's like you give it to somebody, you change somebody's life, you uplift somebody's life experience, somebody's existence by giving them something so valuable. It feels good, it feels amazing. It feels like you live your life on purpose, that you belong, right? This all gives you a feeling of belonging, like you're valuable because people appreciate what you give. Now, but if you take it like mechanically and like you take it like as mm, just give, don't expect anything in return, no expectations, just give for free, give to everyone, who comes your way, and just trust that it will come back to you, and you will be rewarded for that in a different way. Somebody else will give you, like, don't worry. It's like, oh yeah, some people are like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that. Like, okay, I believe in that. Like, you give from the heart, like and you start giving and giving and giving. You don't question every situation when you give, you just trust that you need to give. And then you find yourself in these feelings like, I'm not sure, like, it comes back to me. They said that if I give so much, it will come back to me. And I feel that I'm receiving as much as I'm giving, and everything's going to be so harmonious. And suddenly it's not like that. And you're like, what did I do wrong? Like, first, many people start to like blame themselves. Like, maybe I missed something. Maybe I didn't give enough. I need to give more. Or I need just to work on my inner emotional state. Like, I shouldn't feel resentful. Like, why do I feel resentful? I don't like that. There's something wrong with me because I'm supposed to feel grateful, and then it will come back to me. But it's hard for me to feel grateful because it's not coming back to me for so long that I do feel resentful. Oh my God, what do I do? Did it happen to you? It did happen to me. I must say. I did experience that part. So, where when is it gonna come back? How? Because I need it now. So then there's another extremes, like, oh, we gave enough. Especially for women, there is this new movement of receiving. Become a new receiver, become a powerful receiver. This is a new skill that you need to learn. Nobody was teaching us how to receive. Everybody was teaching how to give. But we need to be in harmony. So everything that is harmonious has to have both sides, has to be giving and receiving. Of course, that is true. Yet there is a trap there as well. So you're trying to learn receiving. It's like you stop giving, you start like pause giving for a while and just start to open yourself up to receive. And we always start with ourselves, like, right? This is something that, and I've been teaching that too. I've been working with women on this, and it's been a huge part of my work as well. Like, receive, like, learn how to receive, relax, don't feel guilty to receive, don't think about how you're gonna pay back and you give back while receiving. I was like, okay, I'll try. And then we start learning how to receive. So many people actually end up being trapped in self-care and giving to themselves. Like, I'm gonna give to myself and receive from myself. And it starts to feel nice because the energy starts to you're not like wasting your energy by giving to like some kind of void, right? Like a black hole, like, that just consumes your energy, nothing comes back. Right? Especially for those ones who like overgivers and like empath, right? I was like, oh, okay, it feels good for a while. But then you feel like, what's going on? I'm just giving to myself. It's like, is there supposed to be some kind of exchange? Like, am I supposed to receive from others as well? And then you start going out there and just being in receiving mode. And maybe you receive certain signs of attention because you come in a beautiful energy and open energy. But if you're not engaging in any kind of like deeper relationships, you still feel like, I don't feel like receiving, especially when I look back of how much I gave, how much I self-sacrificed. I was like, this is nothing. It's just like the shallow child play, like splashing water. Like, well, just somebody opened door for me, or somebody, you know, gave me a compliment. Like, I look nice. You're like, oh, okay. So how do I actually receive from others? Just being there, like, and being open, and they will come and give me gifts and like invite me to things. And for so many women and many people being trapped in that too, because it's like, okay, I'm open to receive. Universe, give me. I'm ready. And it's like nothing happens. So how do we get out of this paradox? And then I feel resentful again. It's like, well, I thought after practicing all the receiving skills, I'm gonna be receiving more from others, but all I receive is from myself. When I put very firm boundaries with others and I take a bath and I just enjoy it, or buy something for myself. You know, many women who become more successful with money, they're like, I buy things for myself. I can do these things. Like I buy trips. Like, but then like you don't feel that kind of like feeling this coming back to you as much, you know, maybe in to a certain degree, but not to a degree that you crave, like this depth, like, oh wow, this is how it feels to fully surrender and receive. I've been working with couples a lot, and the paradox of relationships, of romantic relationships, marriages specifically, that both partners claim that they are givers. They give and give and give, and they never receive. So the question is, who is receiving? Who is receiving when both people are giving? Why is it happening? Like, why they're giving to each other and nobody is receiving? There is something is blocked in this exchange. It's supposed to be free flowing infinity sign, like giving, receiving, giving, receiving, giving, receiving. When you're in the flow states and somebody else is there with you also in the flow states, and you're just like in this creative space where you have no agenda and you just like flow and it's so yummy and beautiful, or maybe you're making love, right, this way, like, wow, do you really recognize where you are giving exactly, or when you start receiving? Are you really aware of that boundary? It's like, oh, now I'm stop giving, now I'm start receiving, I'm stop receiving, start giving, right? When you're in the flow states, it's one, it's just the infinity symbol, the infinity flow is just happening simultaneously. You're simultaneously giving, receiving, because you are in that flow state. So you're not really registering each step, and you're not using your intellect to monitor when receiving starts and when giving ends. So when we start going deeper with this relationship, with this exchange, it's not as it appears to be on the surface, right? Yes, we can intellectualize it. We can break it down to like separate polarities, giving and receiving, because there are polarities. Yet we can't really experience fullness and deep fulfillment and deep self-expression and full exchange, like generous, full, juicy exchange with another, before we learn how to be in that space together and how to be in that state in our body as well. and how to be that way with the world, right? There is no resentment. There is this flow. Of course, it's a little bit like utopia. We can't obviously be in that space all the time because we're still human beings and we are heavily flawed. That's why we're here on this planet, like learning how to become more conscious and evolved. Yet, more and more people developing better skills to be able to access those spaces where there are no walls of separation. So, this is what one of the topics that I'm going to explore and share with you, and hopefully co create with you in this new training. Relational paradox, like navigating, alchemizing relational paradox. I think the name of it will be 5-star relationship, alchemizing relational paradox. Relationship of the future. So if you are intrigued, if you're excited, if you want to dive in and practice your skills, really understand what's the foundation, what's that template that is universal, and then how to make it personal, because we also do with some archetypal work and see how you are wired and how it can apply to you personally, because you do need to personalize it, customize it for yourself, because we're all different. This is totally important piece. You can just use it as a cookie cutter formula. This is the possibility to experience something absolutely outstanding, like removing the walls of separation and really being in this space of oneness with someone, or maybe even with the whole group of people. In our apprenticeship program, at our apprenticeship retreat, we experienced the feeling of oneness, the experience of oneness with all of us. We felt like we all belong to each other. We're all connected. We all love each other on the level of the heart, right? It's all heart centered. So through our hearts, we connect, and then our body can relax into the space and feel, well, I want to stay here forever. This is the world I belong to. The field of belonging. So if you're intrigued and ready and would like to join us, I'll start sharing the links. And as I mentioned before, the training will be launched on September 16th to honor my mother, Valentina, and her legacy, her teachings, which she passed on to me, her wisdom, and her craziness, her darkness as well, that helped me to grow so much in my life.